So there is the barn remodel. So I think you watched a few of them where we tore it down, and then I had some posts as far as building the beams and the lamb beam up there and the I-joist. So once it all comes together, there it is. So I wasn't able to record a lot because we had a lot of rain. We actually had snow one day. And then when I'm working on that, I'm up and down and I just don't have anywhere to put my phone to really record. But, so you didn't get to watch me actually put it together. I have some pictures I will be posting. So that's it for so far. Got my wall up there. I got to put some plywood on there to stiffen it up. And then these three holes, this one, and that one will have windows in them. And so that'll be kind of cool. I want to put solar out here because there's no electricity out here. Tore all that out. I'm going to put some X braces across here like this way and that way to stiffen it up in that direction also. So it should be pretty good. I'm just going to park those trailers that you see over there, the tractor, the forklift, and that big generator inside here to keep them, mainly out of the rain. And then the thing in the tarp there is the sawmill. That'll be set up at this end over here so I can bring wood in with my forklift and then chop it up that way. So that is the master plan so far. Now over the many years this thing rotted a little bit, so I got to replace some of this floor in here, which is one of my work areas. You can see I had all my camping gear in there and it leaked so bad I had to take it out and fix the floor. So I got a little work to do in here once I get my roof to stop leaking, which was all part of the master plan of doing the barn. So then I hosed this out the other day. It was my bathroom in the barn. I got to replace those boards. They were pretty cool whitewash, but they came off a long time ago. So here's the big plan. We ran water from down at that end. You can kind of see the trench a little bit. It's filled in. So that tied into one of the mains that run across the property, and then it comes down to here, over into here, and then this will go into the bathroom. So I'm going to put PEX under there so even though PEX will freeze, it won't burst. And then if I insulate it, it might not even freeze that often. But then I'll have my working bathroom again. Used to be just hooked to that hose bib so I could turn it off and on, but I always forgot and then it would freeze and burst, so whatever. So that is what we've been up to so far. Maybe I'll get up on the roof and show you a little view of all that the metal roofing that we put on, me and my wife. Actually ended up doing it all ourselves. Have some friends that are contractors, but they were busy. And even though one of them offered to help, it was like, nah, we'll pass. So we got the metal roofing. We had it stacked over in this area here. And then we moved it Saturday and put it up on the roof. Once again, just me and my wife. Climb up. So this is what was going on here. So as you can see, I have one more piece of roofing. They're 24 feet 6 inches long, and I have to square up this end of the barn because it's kind of fucked up, I guess would be the proper word to use. So it doesn't run straight because this barn was so out of square. So I got a couple of inches I got to cut from one end to the other. Cut these pieces off here of the purlins and then do that. So then it'll be done. That's the roof. Here's the old roof. That's why it leaks so bad, because it's a fucking disaster. These had swamp coolers in them, which I took out, and I'm going to patch those up. Screw it down really good. Put some flashing along this wall. And then more metal up to these I-joists. I got to cap these I-joists so the rain don't get in there and mess it up too bad. And then once this is flat and cleaned, then I can put some of that elastomeric stuff or whatever it is on there. I found out that it's a lot easier to carry 4 buckets up here and fill them with water than to carry bricks up here, and to keep my metal from blowing away. Just an FYI, carrying bricks sucks. So here's the inside look of the I-joist once we got them put together. Then we took 2 of them and put these X braces in both of them, and then we could lift them up on the forklift, then bring them in on this side and set them in place, basically. So she would lift it up. Our forklift only has forward, so we don't have reverse. And then bring it all the way down, set them, and back and forth. So we did 2 at a time, which kept them from falling over and being kind of stupid, because the basket that I built for the forklift is only about 7 feet wide, if that. So then these would set on there long ways, and then my wife would lift them up and then go through the opening and then set them down, drop the forks, go around, pick up 2 more, come up and set them down. And then we just temporarily stacked them, and then I went through and straightened them all out at 2 foot on center, and then put the purlins in. So these are the DIY I-joists that we built with the dado in there, and then putting them together. If you haven't watched that video on how I built them, take a look at it. But even though it rained, I don't know, 4 or 5 times on these when they were up, it didn't damage them. Now we did get some paint from our neighbors, and then we had to buy some. So my neighbor over there is a contractor. He's a painting contractor. So he had a bunch of what he calls shop mix, which is this color. He just throws everything together and makes one color. All right, so let's get down here. Some of my toys that I've never finished. I had that camper sitting there for 20 some years. Guess I should throw it out. And then a golf cart and many lawnmowers that get burned out about every 2 years. So I wasn't able to show you how I put these beams up here with the forklift also, and set those posts and everything like that. Because once we get working, like I put all that metal roof up in one day. You know, Saturday we got it all loaded on the roof upstairs here. And then on Sunday, I got up there and screwed them all on. It took me about an hour to get used to the fact that I was going to be crawling around on these I-joists that I really didn't know how strong they were, really. I mean, you can follow specs and rules, but you never know if the things are just going to collapse on you. But all in all, it worked out. So I think I'm rambling, which is kind of my MO. So I did want to just bring you guys up to date. So all of the barn remodels so far, other than adding a little water to the bathroom and closing things up here and there and stuff, pretty much done. You know, the important things, which was building the beams and the I-joist behind me here, and And um, so that was the whole barn remodel from tearing it down to building it back up. So I hope that kind of helped you think to yourself, I could probably do this also. It's not that damn complicated, I guess. And it really wasn't all that complicated. Um, I realized that I needed posts. So I looked those up on YouTube and I watched how they're made and the size, and then I built them. Same with that beam, right up here. It runs across that way. Those were old 2x4s taken out of a lot of the projects, and then I just glued them together and made it, I think 10 or 11 inches deep or high or thick or whatever. So there, it's a basically 2x4s that create a 10-inch beam, I think. So I just watched a bunch of videos on that, and there's a video on my channel on how I glued those together a little bit. Um, the I-Joist, that was a lot of fun. I didn't, know how those were going to turn out, but apparently they turned out quite well, and they're strong and sturdy. And there wasn't really a lot of flex on there when I started climbing up in there and walking around on the roof. I have an extreme fear of heights, and even though I'm maybe only 12, 13 feet off the ground, which when I was a kid, that was like nothing. Now I'm old and brittle, so I worry about falling and getting hurt. When I was 15 and we'd jump off of things like that and play around like we were James Bond or something stupid. So, um, all in all, it wasn't as scary being up there as I thought it would be. Um, I think all in all, the whole project of tearing this half of the barn off was probably, and then building the new stuff. The metal, I think, was close to $1,200, $1,300, and all the screws and everything. The posts, the pretty ones standing up right here, this way. I think they were whatever I paid for them. There was 5 times 5, so it's 25 2x6 by 10s, I think. So that was an expense. Like I said, the roofing, that some miscellaneous lumber to fix this side over here where I'm standing right now, over by my Toyota Land Cruiser. Those were existing posts, so it was just some concrete and a couple forms and time. So I'm thinking it came in at maybe $3,000 at the most to take this old barn, tear it down, and this is now 24 by 40. Basically a pole barn, and that's pretty good price per square foot. So don't think you can't do this yourself, because I'm just a carpet layer by trade. So I spent 25, 30 years in the construction field, but I was just doing floors. I watched people work, and I watched drywallers and painters and contractors and roofers and superintendents learn how to read blueprints and stuff like that for bidding and estimating. But all in all, I'm still just a carpet guy. And so we were able, me and my wife, to tear this down and rebuild it and get it nice and level, just the two of us. And it may have taken a couple months to do, but there was a couple days of building the beam, the post, the I-joist, and then maybe 2 or 3 days of painting and getting them up and getting the metal on. So all in all, if we were just a construction crew, me and my wife, doing this, you would have seen us work for maybe 2 weeks total time, 80 hours. Um, so the money you save doing this shit is worth it. And if you like doing things yourself and you're physically capable of doing it, why not? Like I say, I'll be 70 years old this July. My wife is 9 years younger than me. So me and her, we're not spring chickens. And yet, look at all the work we got done. Most contractors I know, like my neighbor, he's just amazed. He goes, I have crews that are in their 20s and 30s that don't work as much and as hard and get as much done in a week that you guys do. So you're not limited. All right, you guys. Well, sorry for rambling, and hope you found this interesting. I'm not the world's most entertaining person on camera or podcasting, I've learned. But hey, what the fuck? All right, you guys. Take care. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.
We made too many compromises already. Too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back.
I'm your huckleberry.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
That's just my game.